Yo, Jenny Gang, what it do? So we are finally back for a Jenny Gang YouTube production. My real ones are gonna hit the like button. The rest of you follow my channel. I've been on TikTok, y'all. Subscribe to my channel and comment on my commentary. So there has been so much controversy around this particular case I want to discuss. And for starters, I do want to wish everybody a happy 2025 because this will be my first video drop of the year. I think I have one more film, but whichever one comes first. Happy New Year, y'all. NaZiyah Harris, the 13-year-old from Michigan, who is unfortunately missing and has been missing since January of last year, 2024. So I'm gonna just start off by things I think that everyone should know by now. NaZiyah Harris lived with her grandmother. Her grandmother is a foster mom who had, I'm gonna say multiple kids because that's a lot of kids for me, the amount of kids I've seen that she had. Some of the kids are actually her kin kids, but I don't think all of them were. Correct me if I'm wrong. Her biological mother has issues with substance abuse, but is still a mom that loves her and is in Michigan, but no custody. NaZiyah Harris was groomed, raped, and taken advantage of by her, can we call this man her uncle? Her uncle by not even marriage. Her uncle who was dating and having children with her aunt. And the aunt's name is Shannon Harris. Shannon has a twin. I forget the twin's name, but I may insert that because I think that's kind of important. But is it Marquita? Give me just a second, y'all. All right, y'all. I was correct. It's Shannon and Marquita Harris, twin sisters from Detroit. And their mother is the grandmother who has custody of NaZiyah. I don't know why I'm forgetting these people's name. I've been watching this case every single day the last 2 weeks. I'm forgetting the grandmother's name. But amongst things you should know, the uncle who took advantage of her is Jarvis Butts. Now, one thing nobody is mentioning, and I have to say, I think I mentioned it to my TikTok audience, is that Jarvis Butts dates women who have low self-esteem, allegedly. And you can look at Jarvis and look at the women he dates and see that they are not as good looking as him. Jarvis Butts is a tall, light-skinned, nice-looking man. I hate to have to give this man any compliments. And because of his pretty privilege, yes, this is what I had to tell my audience. I don't think people understand men have pretty privilege just like women. Because of his pretty privilege in dating women who think they are beneath him, it seems as if he's gotten away with so many things. The top thing being a pedo. NaZiyah Harris was a beautiful girl. Her uncle began to take advantage and start training her mind, and we think at the age of 11. Also, what you probably know by now, NaZiyah was presumed to be pregnant at the time of her disappearance. So what it looks like to everyone, according to all of these text messages that have been seeked out in Jarvis's and NaZiyah's records, is that the day that she went missing, we're thinking that Jarvis was going to try some in-home way to get rid of the pregnancy. He was the one who impregnated her, obviously. No, he's not admitting to any of this. Yes, we think that he probably unalived her either by accident that day or intentionally. No, he is not telling anyone where she is or what happened to her. he is trying to play like he has amnesia. Again, what he's thinking probably is that pretty privilege that's been working for him all these years is going to work on the judge and all those people. The judge already told him, bruh, cut it. She told him and the family how she felt about them. And we're just like in the preliminary trial or whatever you call it. We ain't even got into the nitty gritty. What are other things that I feel like that everybody knows by now? Jarvis Butts was a car mechanic. He worked at a gas station car fixing place. And I heard one YouTuber say, if you know anything about those, which I don't, but she said gas stations that have the mechanic thing attached to them are some of the nastiest looking car shops that she's ever seen. I think she had a point once I sat down and just thought about that. Like, yeah, I kind of go get my oil stuff and change either at the dealership, if they have like a deal or something, or I go get it at someone who's independently a car fixing place. I don't really like things attached to gas stations, restaurants, anything. I don't really like that. But Jarvis also, he is a serial pedo. I'm trying not to say that word so loudly, y'all, that YouTube dings this video, but he's a serial pedo. He had already done 10 years for taking advantage of other children. He even went as far as SAing his own daughter. Jarvis Butts, during the commission of an SA, gave a 4-year-old chlamydia. Can y'all imagine being, okay, whatever age you are right now, obviously you're probably not 4, you're probably grown or at least 18, knowing that your innocence was not only taken at 4 years old, but you're 4 years old and have already had an STD. This man is despicable. The reason, I'm going to say a few reasons why Jarvis Butt is not letting us know where NaZiyah is. One, he's wanting to try to act like he didn't do these things. This dude, as big of a criminal as he is, literally thought they was going to take his phone and not find the stuff that he's been talking to NaZiyah about for years because he deleted the messages. Crazy, right? Some of the things that were in this phone were, not some of it, I'm going to say 95% of the things in this phone were enough to make your stomach turn. Now, there is an online discussion about whether or not NaZiyah Harris was fast. What does fast mean? It means when the older people in a generation created a term where they feel like if a female is doing too much, too concerned about boys, too concerned about sex, too concerned about boys, really. And I'm here to tell y'all that I disagree with that. And I disagree because she was trained to be and do everything that she was doing with this 30-some-year-old man. So, you know, now I'm not going to say all the time. Sometimes some people are born with certain spirits. I don't see NaZiyah, the energy that I get from her is that she actually still was a good, innocent kid. It's just that it's been brought to the surface that her family did not give her a lot of love and attention. As a matter of fact, her family were playing out evil to her, allegedly. There are videos that people are starting to dissect, which show it seems like NaZiyah was starving for attention. A gender reveal where the aunt was having a gender reveal and NaZiyah had to make her way into saying what she thought the baby was going to be. Whereas everyone else, they put the camera and said, hey, what do you think it's going to be? What do you think it's going to be? And then they grudgingly say, NaZiyah, and then they turn the camera real fast. And then NaZiyah says, I think this. But so unfortunately, even though Jarvis Butts is a monster, she probably honestly only felt comfort and comfortable with him. Remember, her real mom is a good mom, but her real mom struggled with substance abuse, which is why her grandmother had her in the first place. Her grandmother, the foster, lady, is being called money hungry, is being called evil. The way that she's being described and the way she's starting to look is like the lady on Antoine Fisher. Y'all know the lady who was whooping and doing his cussing at the kids, and she's starting to sound and look like her. And a lot of times these people adopt all these kids, y'all, and be foster moms just so they can get money. I'm thinking that NaZiyah Harris's grandmother is one of those. You don't have a real love for children. You're not nurturing. You had a lock on the refrigerator, for God's sakes. And I'm speaking this way, y'all, because the family is watching our content. Do not let them make you feel like they're not. And the thing is, y'all deserve everything that comes to you, because we have this little girl who possibly may never be found. But whatever her last thoughts were, she didn't have nobody she could depend on except for this man who's been taking advantage of her. This man who now is holding his silence and not letting us know much detail. We just figuring it out, by the way. Clothes have been found. Shoes have been found. Glasses. This is something that you also probably know by now. If you don't, you should know. Jarvis Butts borrowed his baby mother's car. Baby mama, I think the baby mama. Jarvis Butts has kids everywhere, y'all. If you don't know that, you should know that. Jarvis Butts has multiple kids. He has 5 children by Shannon, the aunt that was, most with him, because he told everybody like the same thing. He told everybody he wanted to marry him. He had kids with everybody. But Shannon is the main chick, we'll say. And she is the one who we feel like her and some of her family members were jealous of NaZiyah because they knew. There's a feeling that you can't tell me that they didn't get a feeling that something may have been going on extra between Jarvis and NaZiyah. But it made them treat NaZiyah funny versus you addressing this man that you're so proud to have. You decide to take it out on a child. But what I was saying, though, Jarvis's baby mother allowed Jarvis to borrow her car the day that NaZiyah went missing. They didn't pay NaZiyah much attention, so they didn't really know she was missing, and they didn't even bother to report her missing until the next day, according to the grandmother telling them to wait till the next day. When her car, the baby mama's car, was returned, Jarvis didn't give an explanation as to why he borrowed the car twice, but her son was in the back of the car, found some clear frame glasses, kind of like this, and he put them on his face. The baby mama looked in the back of the car like, take the glasses from him. She asked Jarvis, who's the glasses? Jarvis snatches the glasses from his baby mama and says, those are my sons. And we have a last picture by NaZiyah waving with a set of clear frame glasses on. And we do believe that, allegedly, those are her glasses. Jarvis didn't clean up all of the evidence. Lastly, y'all, I want to address jail calls, because this is going to be, this is going to be a case that is going to go on for a while. I'll be covering it more than once. I have to. It's literally so much material. And we're all trying to learn this stuff. Like, I find something new out every video I watch, no matter what content creators give me the information. Jarvis has a business partner who worked in the mechanic shop with him, who also is a certified criminal. He would call this guy King. He would call him from jail and talk to him. And one day he asked his business partner to remove some evidence from his baby mother's car. Now, it was a phone. He told him specifically where to find the phone. Now, it's unclear whether his business partner kind of just didn't remove that phone, because he's knowing like, bro, you get ready to get in something. We both be in trouble, but you get ready to go down for some crazy stuff. I don't want to be in that. It's unclear if his business partner King was thinking that way, or if he really went to retrieve the phone and it wasn't there. But he told Jarvis that the phone was no longer there and the police or whoever had already retrieved it. which ended up being true. But long story short, the jail calls to his baby mother and the way that they act about protecting Jarvis has led people to think that the baby mother and sister and grandmother, either one or all, were complicit in the disappearance of NaZiyah. Even if they were not, let's say they had no clue and didn't know anything that was going on, how slowly they moved to report her missing, their sense of urgency just was not there. It makes them look like, whether they are involved or not, that they're still guilty of a hell of a lot of neglect. I don't know what other word we can call it, but yeah, this case is a rabbit hole and it runs deep. We have a case that I'm going to do over, that I went over with y'all last year. The girl's name was Ayanna Thompson. Ayanna Thompson, I believe that's her name. But Ayanna Thompson was 15 or 16, and she was unalived by her uncle, who was grooming and taking advantage of her, also because she was pregnant. Now, with that case, we did not retrieve that young lady, but because her uncle was just so slow and telling people about the crime, we do know that she was unalived, but thrown in the landfill, so kind of impossible to recover her. I did mention in that video that I was one of the people who said possibly Ayanna was fast because her uncle was not the first person to take advantage of her. She was actually already messing with, another guy. And I do believe a guy that was her age. So it did seem like to me she was moving a little fast. I never victim blame, so not that. But what I'm saying in comparison to that case and this case, NaZiyah most definitely didn't even get an opportunity to be fast. So y'all let me know where you're at on the case. Hit your comments. Anything you feel like I should mention on my next video, make sure you insert it. As for her family, you may feel like it's none of our business, but had you stepped up and taken care of her and cared for her and protected her from Jarvis, none of this probably would be happening. She would still probably be here, and this case wouldn't be gaining global attention. Gang, y'all like the video, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.